Do you meditate?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. Not as much as I should, but I do.
Yeah. It saved my life.
Really? How
meditation. So? I think for me, because like I was saying, I have this chaotic life. Yeah. I call it like good chaos. I'm not like complaining or anything. Yeah. But sometimes when you're constantly spinning, you're not really tapping in to yourself and your own thoughts, right? I feel like when we move through life, we're being influenced in so many ways. And it happens, I think, even subconsciously. You know what I mean? Like you're picking up things. But with meditation, I feel like I am able to really tap into my thoughts and what's really going on in my mind. And then it also just kind of calms me down. It puts me in that, I believe it's like an alpha brain wave, state of mind. And I feel like there's magic there. Yeah. When you go to that place. And I've basically been meditating to Joe Dispenza, who is fantastic. And he's basically, his kind of like practice is trying to intentionally move in the conscious state of mind and not letting your subconscious take over. Because a lot is going on subconsciously. Like I said, even things that maybe you're not picking up. So within your meditative state or practice, you are intentionally, so there's intent to it, choosing words, visualizing how you want to be and how you don't want to be. So when you're in this meditative state, he'll tell you to start talking about what you don't want to be, right? And then he'll have you move into the conscious and start talking about what you want to be. And then before you know it, you're like doing what you want. Do you know what I mean? You're not letting your past experiences take over and make decisions for you. Like you're actually being very intentional with how you move. And so it's been very helpful.
That's amazing. So Joe Dispenza, he has guided meditation.
Yes, it's guided meditation.
Okay, so I think I know who he is.
Yeah, he's dope.
He's the guy who basically, I mean, he talks about how much your thoughts actually affect your reality, whether you know it or not, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so I've heard of him.
And he believes that you have the power, because he believes that your thoughts are just thoughts, which... Really, it is. It doesn't necessarily define who you are. So he's encouraging you to believe that you have the power to control your thoughts. You have the power to control your destiny. You have the power to control the life that you want to have. Yeah. And it starts with your thoughts. Yeah. You could be trapped in a negative feedback loop and really not know how to get out. Exactly.
But that's why I think it's important to, one, listen to conversations like this, but two, just listen to all the conversations like just Joe Dispenza are having out there so you can understand like, hey, this is what's happening to me right now.
Exactly.
Because you don't know.
No, and you become aware, you know? Yeah, I feel like with Buddhism, they talk a lot about that as well. Like, I think what's really helped me is learning how to not load certain words. An example in this book, When Things Fall Apart, when somebody says, you look old, right? That could either be a positive or a negative, you know what I mean? Because it's about your experience, you know what I mean? And how it's, what are the influences that are, coming in? Whereas with Buddhism, they just basically teach you how to be just present, you know what I mean? And not load too much. So you're not being defined by that word. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is that one of the main reasons? Or not main reasons. Is that one of the reasons for going to Thailand?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I don't know. Like I just really, like I said, I'm on this healing journey or era. And I feel like a lot of the books that I have been reading that have been really helpful stem from, I guess, just Buddha practices. And I think the one that has really resonated with me recently is the story about the Buddha sitting by a tree, and then arrows are coming at him. And then he decides to turn the arrow around and turn it into a flower. And then handing the flower off to the enemy. And it's basically just teaching you how to show love and compassion when being faced with some sort of animosity. And so anyway, stories like that, I feel like has really resonated with me. I guess things just starting with self-love. I really needed to work on that. Really tapping into, loving myself and, showing compassion for myself. Because when you show compassion for yourself, you just make different decisions or you create boundaries and you don't allow certain people access. So anyway, so I've really resonated with that. And so I feel like Thailand is really going to be like healing for me. Just visiting the temples and seeing the monks. I mean, I even meditate to monks chanting, and there's just something. It's just what it does to me.
Yeah,
it like,
about that.
It just like, I just feel so at peace. And so like, if I'm like tense, as soon as I start listening to the chants, I'm just like,
Yeah.
So
me and Thomas over there, we were in actually South Korea.
Okay.
His brother has a bar that was getting an award for being one of the, I think it's the 100 best bars in all of Asia.
Really?
Yes. So if you're ever in South Korea, you gotta check it out. It was called Southside Parlor. Yeah,
well, I do love me some kimchi. And Korean. Ooh, I grew up on kimchi. It is.
Yeah.
I grew up on kimchi because I lived in Hawaii. So there's a huge Korean population there. So the Korean barbecue, like I grew up eating that, like short ribs and kimchi and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
You see, I didn't really like Korean barbecue much until I got to South Korea. And I'm like, yo, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's authentic.
Yeah. I grew up a vegetarian, so I didn't even.
Oh, really?
I haven't actually said this publicly. I didn't even try meat.
Oh my God.
Until I was 21.
What made you just say, I want to try it?
I'm kind of the black sheep in my family.
Really? Okay.
I don't know if I'm the black sheep. What kind of? Depends on how you look at it.
Okay.
But in that way, I definitely was the only one who decided I wanted to explore.
Okay.
We were raised to really think that being a vegetarian is the way to eat.
Okay.
And, I would question it.
Yeah.
So and now I do think it's an extremely healthy way to eat if you do it right.
Yes.
But we are able to process meat as well. So I just think we eat too much of it.
Yeah, exactly.